Tuesday, October 17th, 1916. Uncle Clarence died this morning. The house has been very quiet since. Not peaceful, only quiet. There is a difference, though I am not certain I could explain it aloud without sounding foolish. The servants have gone softly from room to room, and father has spoken very little except when spoken to. Mother said I ought not write tonight, but I find I cannot sleep, and there is no better use for wakefulness than to put it somewhere. Uncle Clarence had been dying for some time, though no one said so plainly. In this house, plain speech is reserved for accounts, weather, repairs, and the failings of other men. Illness is spoken of as if it were poor manners. He had been less strong, then confined, then not receiving visitors. This morning he was dead, which is at least a word no one can soften. I saw him yesterday. He was smaller than I remembered, though I do not think he had changed as much as my idea of him had. When I was a child, he seemed to occupy every chair he sat in and every room he entered. His cane struck the floor before he did. His watch chain shone across his waistcoat. His eyes had a way of finding disorder before anyone else had noticed it. I used to believe he could hear dust settling on the mantel. Yesterday he lay against the pillows and looked almost ordinary. That disturbed me more than I expected. Father stood at the foot of the bed and looked like a boy awaiting correction. He is an old man himself, or nearly so, but beside Uncle Clarence he was Edmund again, the younger brother, the late child, the one who had been told where to stand. I do not know whether father loved him. I do not know whether love is the proper word for what families sometimes do to one another over many years. Uncle Clarence spoke only once while I was there. He asked whether the ledgers had been put away. Father said they had. Then Uncle Clarence looked at me and said, "See that they stay dry." That was all. I have tried to decide whether he meant the ledgers only, or the house, or the name. Perhaps he meant nothing beyond what he said. People are always tempted to make final words larger than they are, because death makes even ordinary sentences sound deliberate. Still, I keep hearing it. The house seemed colder after he was gone. Men came and went. Dr. Walter Ellery signed what was required. Father shut himself in the study, though it has never been his study, not truly. I passed the door once and heard no sound from inside. Mother received Mrs. Harrow and two women from town. They spoke in low voices, as if volume might wake the dead or offend them. I walked outside before supper and looked back at the front of the house. The lamps had been lit in the lower windows, and for a moment it appeared unchanged. That seemed wrong. A house ought to show when the man who ruled it has left. It ought to sag or crack or make some honest sign of vacancy. Instead, it stood as it always has, square and severe, with its columns straight and its windows bright. Perhaps that is the purpose of such houses. They continue looking respectable after the people inside them have failed to know what they feel. I do not know what happens now. Father is still here. Mother is still here. I am still 16 and of no particular use to anyone. Yet, something has shifted. I felt it at supper, though no one said anything unusual. The chair at the head of the table was empty, and everyone pretended not to look at it. Uncle Clarence is dead. The house remains.